Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to share my review of Fallout, the role-playing game core rulebook from Modiphius Entertainment. This is written by Allison Seeby, Jason Brick, Nathan Dowdle, Jonathan Fry, Oz Mills, Virginia Page, and Sam Webb. And I apologize if I've somehow mispronounced any of those names. This 431-page hardcover with PDF normally carries an MSRP of $52. Right now, throughout the month of April, it is on sale in celebration of the new Fallout series over on Amazon for $21.43 if you order from Modiphius Entertainment. Now, you can grab just the PDF over at Drive-Thru RPG, normally for $20. Right now, it is on sale for $13.40. Keep in mind, these sale prices are throughout the month of April, and as I share this, you still have well over a week to take advantage of these sale prices. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera, because here I've got Fallout, the role-playing game core rulebook. A couple things I want to mention before we jump on in. First of all, my friends over at Modiphius Entertainment were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. Neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this review with you. These days, it's important you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of the book, but I do want to give you a very good feel for what you're going to find inside this volume. Now, we already had a written review of the core rulebook that Sammy Uhas had done for us, and that was a while back, a couple of years ago. But I thought, you know what? To celebrate the release of the Fallout series, I would share video reviews of the starter set, which I provided for you last week, as well as the core rulebook. So there is that. So let's jump on in. First thing I do want to share with you is the credit page, because there are a lot of folks who probably worked very hard to bring this book to fruition. Quite a few artists. I love the artwork throughout. It's really well done. So here we get our credits. We're going to start off with just a little introduction to the world of Fallout. War. War never changes. Of course, if I had a budget, I would have hired Ron Perlman to do that, but I don't. So I will provide that opening line. I got to say, I love how Ron Perlman has opened Fallout with war. War never changes. Right there. So we just get a little bit of information. Then it talks about what do you need to be able to play this game, such as dice and paper and pencils and things like that. So we're going to jump right on into our core rules. At its heart, the 2D20 system, which is the system which powers the majority of Modiphius Entertainment role-playing games, is rolling 20-sided dice, looking to roll equal to or lower than a target number in order to score successes. So in this case here, you've got your attribute, you've got your skill. You're going to be adding both of those together. That will give you a number. That's your target number. And you're going to roll normally 2 20-sided dice. Now, there are ways for you to roll more dice. I will talk about that a little bit in a few moments. But for the most part, you're normally going to just be rolling 2 20-sided dice and looking at that target number. So as an example here, let's say the target number was 10. Well, I would have 1 success. Now, your game master is going to be coming up with a difficulty for that test. And that's a number anywhere from 0, which is automatic, to 5, which is near impossible. And that is going to be the number of successes you must roll. So that is at its heart the essence of the 2D20 system. Now, there are people out there who say that the 2D20 system is kind of clunky and it's not very intuitive and it's hard to understand. I will tell you, it is not difficult to understand. The core mechanic is actually very easy to wrap your head around. It is a dice pool. You are trying to roll successes. More successes, the better for you. Easy enough. Now, of course, rolling 20-sided dice is a little bit different. Normally, dice pool games will have 6-sided dice, but in this case, 20-sided die. If you roll a 20, that is going to add a complication. It's not necessarily a critical failure, but it is going to complicate the situation you're in. And if you roll a 1, that actually counts as 2 successes. Easy enough. I think where the problem lies with people being a little confused with the 2d20 system is with the game currency, because we have both action points and luck points. And the 2d20 systems are a bit different for each of the games out there. So Star Trek Adventures 2d20 system is different than Fallout the Role-Playing Game's 2d20 system. The core mechanics stays the same, but some of the outlying mechanics are different. So I think that throws some people off as well. But we've got those two different sorts of currencies. The action points you can use to buy more 20-sided dice to roll. Now, the action points are in a group pool for the players. So you can only have a maximum of 6 action points, and anybody can spend them. And it's not as if you have to ask the other players if it's okay to spend action points. Now, every time you roll more successes than you needed, you get an action point. So it's something that flows pretty well through the game, spending and gaining action points. You can use action points to gather more information about the situation you're in. You can use action points to gain more actions in a round, both major and minor actions. So there are quite a few things that you can spend those points on. Luck points, a little bit different. Luck points can be used to re-roll dice. Doesn't matter if it's the 20-sided dice, combat dice, or the hit location die. You can spend luck points to do that. You can spend luck points to improve your situation. So unlike the action point, which you spend to gain more information, the luck point is spent to improve the situation. You can also use luck points to interrupt the initiative in combat so that you can take your action earlier in the round. Quite a few different things that can be done with those two types of currency. And like I said, I think that's one of the things that sort of confuses people at times. Now we get into combat. Combat, simply enough, you're rolling your 20-sided dice. So this would probably be a success. All you care about is trying to get a single success all the time. Worry about the difficulty later. Now, if you hit in combat, depending on the weapon you've got, you're going to roll hit location. You're also going to roll damage dice. So with your damage dice, we have got 3 different faces. We've got 1 damage, 2 damage, and then we've got Vault Boy. So you're going to have a certain number of damage dice you'll roll determined by the weapon you were using. These are pretty easy. 1 damage, 2 damage. That is the 1 damage, and it will activate, it will trigger the ability of the weapon that you might be using. Some weapons have various different characteristics that can be triggered. This is how they get triggered. I find that to be pretty cool. Now, combat in Fallout the Role-Playing Game is certainly not as tactically dense as many people would expect from a Fallout game. I was even a little surprised that the combat is as abstracted as it is. I don't really have a huge problem with it because something that I always look forward to is quick moving combat, and that is the case here. Combat normally does not drag. But those of you out there who are hoping for a GURPS level of complexity to combat, that is not going to happen. So we get into character creation. There's about 30 pages devoted to that. Now, this is a portion of the rules that was not in the starter set, which is not unusual. There were no character creation rules. So if you're familiar with the Fallout video games, you will be very familiar with special. So you've got strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. So this is half of your target number equation. So you're not going to have values of like 12 and 15. You're probably going to have values of 5 and 6, maybe 7. And that, of course, gets added to your skill to give you your target number when you're looking to achieve different things. Now, we don't have a ton of skills. We have a few skills that are pretty broad, just like you would find in the video games. You can tag some of your skills, which pretty much shows that they are your areas of expertise. We also have some origins. These are sort of like the archetypes of the player characters. We've got the Brotherhood Initiate, we've got the Super Mutant, we've got the Ghoul, we've got Mr. Handy, we've got the Vault Dweller, and we also have the Survivor. Each of these are going to have a trait. And then the big selling point for Fallout is always the perks. This is what really makes your player characters unique. And we've got quite a lot of perks. And we also have some specialization, some backgrounds for those origins. So as an example here, a Mr. Handy could be a Miss Nanny, Mr. Farmhand, Mr. Gutsy, Mr. Handy, or Nurse Handy. So we get a few different options, which makes your player character a bit different. So you are able to customize your characters pretty well. Now, the next section takes up nearly 100 pages, and it is all the equipment. So we've got guns, we've got ammo, we have got armor, we have got apparel, food, magazines, books. And once again, if you play Fallout video games, you're going to absolutely love this section because you're going to see so much stuff from the video games in here. Now, I will point out there are things that aren't necessarily in the games, or maybe they are, and I just never encountered them. So I like that too, where it's not only focused on what's in the video games. So I do like that quite a lot. Then we're going to get into survival. So a discussion of various different tactics to utilize in the wasteland, scavenging, crafting, things like that. Then we'll start moving into more background information about the setting. So we'll start getting information about corporations and vault tech. And I got to say, I really like those sections quite a bit. I especially like the vault tech section. I think that's pretty cool, pretty twisted too. And of course, if you have watched the series, you know from the finale, a bit more was revealed about vault tech that maybe some folks weren't aware of. So pretty cool. Then we'll get into information about the Commonwealth. So this does take place in the Boston area, which is the setting of Fallout 4. So we get more information about that. Then we're going to start getting into our game mastering. So it will be for the game master's eyes only. So we will get various different NPCs, as well as our bestiary, discussion of quests and campaigns. And then we get an introductory adventure, which I love because lately a lot of core rulebooks do not provide for introductory adventures. So check out all this great stuff. You're all excited and there's no adventure for you to run. And a lot of times with some core books, there aren't any adventures available yet either. So I will point out that the Fallout role-playing game is very, very nicely supported from Modiphius Entertainment. And of course, you've even got their line of skirmish miniatures, which is now Fallout Factions, because I don't think they're doing Fallout Wasteland Warfare anymore. I think Fallout Factions has kind of replaced it. It's fairly new. It just recently came out. The adventure itself, it's not real long, but it's about 15 pages, and it's pretty decent. And it gives a nice introduction to the world of Fallout as well as the Commonwealth. Then we're going to finish up with our appendices. We've got our index. We've got character sheets. And that is a look inside Fallout, the role-playing game. So let's swing on over to the other camera. I'm going to share some final thoughts and give this a review score. So I really like the starter set. I pointed that out in that review. And same goes for the core rulebook. Really like this quite a bit. I think it's excellent. I think it's really nicely done. The presentation is top-notch. Production quality, also top-notch. Paper stock is solid. It's good. It's not the thickness that we run across from, say, like Free League Publishing, but this book will hold up to repeated use at the game table if you're not punting it all over the place, of course. But all in all, quality-wise, production, really, really well done. The game itself, I don't really have an issue with the 2D20 system. I know a lot of people out there, they don't like it. It's not intuitive. And I do understand that. If you've been playing Call of Cthulhu or Dungeons and Dragons, or say any of the games from Free League Publishing that use 6-sided dice and you have dice pools rolling successes, yeah, the 2D20 system seems a little odd. It's different. That's why I honestly think that newcomers to role-playing games might have an easier time picking up on the 2D20 system because they're just not used to anything else. So they're like, oh, okay, those are the rules. All right, fine. Easy peasy. But once again, I don't have a huge issue with the 2D20 system. Although, I got to be honest, I am kind of surprised that Modiphius Entertainment still sticks with it and that it powers the majority of their role-playing games. I would have thought they may start looking to move beyond it, but I guess that's not going to be the case, which is fine. I mean, it's their in-house system. That's okay. Now, one thing I can say, and this goes for pretty much all the outside IPs that Modiphius Entertainment makes role-playing games for, they do phenomenal work. Their Star Trek Adventures, really, really well done. The Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed Of, it's really too bad Modiphius Entertainment lost the license to that because the releases for that were absolutely top-notch. Really, really well done. The Dune role-playing game is excellent. So even though it's an outside IP, which can be the mark of death for some games in the tabletop genre, not for Modiphius Entertainment. Really, really well done. They've really captured the essence of Fallout and what makes Fallout so much fun and really stand out. Really love all the work that has gone into this core rulebook. As I also mentioned, Modiphius Entertainment really supports Fallout, the role-playing game, very, very well. There are a variety of different supplements out there. There are always adventures coming out. Sometimes they're only available in PDF, which, you know, that's fine. They're shorter adventures and such. They're usually about $4.99, thereabouts. So that is something you don't have to worry about, picking up the core rulebook and then suddenly finding there's nothing out there to run. If you like to run prepared adventures or published adventures, you'll be in very good stead. On a scale of 0 to 10, I give Fallout the role-playing game core rulebook a 9 out of 10. It is that good. If you're a fan of Fallout video games, and you are looking to experience a tabletop role-playing game to capture the essence of Fallout, look no further than right here. That's right. Core rulebook is excellent. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this review, it'll also inform you when my live stream, The Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching. And until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.